Buongiorno!
Welcome.
Here Emanuele.
And it's Jonathan. What's up, guys? Welcome back. So today we're going to be discussing negotiation in real estate, but also in real life.
Negotiation, dude.
between agents, as we displayed, and in real life, and how that sort of works. We'll start with Emanuele giving us some
Well, I can
examples.
tell you something.
Let's hear
If
it.
we show up to a negotiation like that,
We
they're going to be
win.
scared. We're going to win the negotiation. For sure.
That's why you want us as your agents.
Right. We're going to show up in tank top.
We'll get you that price.
Okay, anyway. Jokes apart. Talking about market, real estate, negotiation. It's not rocket science. When an agent lists your property, let's say this is the market current price of your property, an agent should list your property in a couple directions. One is put a slightly higher price, listing price, or put in lower. And a higher listing price, you might have luck and get some offer. But if you don't have traction, most likely it will drop the price with a longer time period.
So what's the strategy on listing it higher?
If you list it lower, then you might incur in a bidding war in a quicker time frame. But most of sellers, they're like, oh, I don't want to list it low because, psychologically, this is kind of stuff for experts.
Unless the market is fantastic.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, even higher or lower, going down on this direction, going higher on this direction, the market price basically balances itself, and this is the market current price. So how you do a negotiation? First of all, you have to understand if the property has been listed high or on the lower end. According to that, you do your offer. Usually when you do a negotiation, what do you do? Two brokers, they come together and they start negotiate. They started this little dance. I offer you this, I offer you that. It's kind of a bit of a bullshit sometimes.
It is, the
I have
start
to
of it
say.
at least. Sorry.
But, I suggest always to have the two brokers talking to each other verbally on the phone prior to submit an official offer on email. Why? Why that? Because when you do an email offer, usually by the time you have the back and forth, every time it's 48 hours apart. So by the time you do 2-3 counter offer, then 2 weeks has gone. And what happened most likely? That the apartment is gone because another savvy buyer arrived with a perfect offer. And meanwhile, we are doing the negotiation. The guy just steal it from you. So, this has happened to you, I guess. Right?
I think it's happened for everybody. But I think in negotiation, what you were saying with being like doing it on the phone, broker to broker, why do you think specifically, like what's your strategy when you get on the phone first, let's say? Because I did this the other day, for example, and it turned out in my favor this once, but usually it kind of doesn't. And you can approach it in different ways. But if you say to an agent, sometimes I'll call if I know I have an offer that's not unrealistic, right? But I think it might be able to get it done. I go in and say to the agent, let's skip the bullshit.
Exactly.
Let's skip the bullshit. What's the price where we get this done at? Right? Do you think that's an easier way of doing it? Or do you sort of play that game? Like, do you go in and say, fuck this, let's find a price?
Depends from the broker that is representing the property and depends from the property as well. You kind of have a feeling looking at how many days it's listed on the market. If it's listed forever on the market, could mean two things. One is that the seller is not a real seller, that is never dropping the price. Or the other one, that they might be desperate now finally to sell. And actually you have more negotiation power. So you kind of trying to understand psychologically where they're at, and then I go from there. But usually I try to cut it pretty quickly, and I have respect for other broker, and they don't want to actually waste their time either. But it's not about wasting time. It's about like getting the job done right away. Obviously, I try to get top dollar for my buyer.
Yeah, of course.
But there is always a bit of a game. But
even when you ask to skip the bullshit,
you know what's the problem?
Still a game.
You know what's the problem? And sometimes even if we skip the game, your buyer or your seller want to play game.
They want to play the game.
There is so much pride.
It was like
too
much. It was too fast. What did you say back?
I lost deals because of, let's say, a $10 million property for like what, 50 grand. Because that 50 grand means so much for my buyer or your seller that is pride. And this, I think, should be skipped. I always try to let them understand, listen, this is business. It's not a game. You are not smarter.
Not emotional.
It's not, should be business, purely business, and get the job done.
Yeah. So, and this, not to cut you off, but I think this is specifically where, again, this shows you sort of need an agent, and sort of let your agent do their thing. Let them do their job. Don't get emotionally involved. Don't try to think. And it's not bashing anybody. It's not saying that you don't know what you're doing.
Sometimes
or you can't
they think they go to war.
Right, exactly. It's let us know, let us do what we do. So I think step back and let your agent handle this is a good.
Yeah. Sometimes we lost deal over a chandelier, over a piece of furniture.
Exactly.
And you know that it's not about the couple $1,000 for your buyer or seller.
No, it's a pride thing. Dude, I've lost it over a stereo system. That's like 20 years
I mean,
old.
we don't want to get involved with furniture. If not, we would be furniture salesperson.
A stereo system. Because it was already...
like the Sonos, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like it was a deal that was already... The owner had already agreed to, what he thought was too many terms that the buyer was agreeing to. But then the owner's like, I'm taking my TV. It was a whole fucking thing. But give us some examples of offers. Like, what are some standard offers that you get or negotiation sort of tactics that we do?
I can tell you, I can classify for you offers if you want. I can have my top tier 1 offer and tier 5 offer. So, I mean, the top tier 1 offer obviously is a cash offer.
Yeah.
Cash offer. And guys, cash offer doesn't mean, because I have actually buyers asking me this question. What do you mean cash offer? I have to bring cash in a,
I thought the same though.
A suitcase. No, cash offer doesn't exist cash anymore.
That'd be cool.
Cash offer is not you showing up with a case full of millions of dollars. It just means that you don't get a mortgage, but you're going to do a transparent and legal wire, bank to bank. Anyway, top tier 1 offer is a cash offer. Cash offer, obviously, you have more negotiation power because it's a fast deal. Closing usually is 30 days, could be even in 3 weeks.
It's easier, everyone involved likes it, agent likes it.
There are no banks involved. And the seller actually like a cash offer because, they basically smell the money right away.
Yeah, and it's a done deal. They're like, I can get this done out.
Let's not say about it's a low ball or a price correctly offer. Cash offer
price correctly offer.
Top tier 1.
Yeah, and you can get away with a lot of shit if
it's
all cash.
You cannot go wrong. Then the tier 2 offer is actually the offer with the mortgage offer with no contingency. No contingency, what does it mean? It means that even if your bank doesn't approve you the mortgage because maybe they don't believe in the building or for many reasons or your financial are not that well, you are still capable on buying cash on your own the property. So this is actually a very strong offer. The only downside that might take a bit longer, 45 to 60 days, because by the time the bank go and inspect the property and wire you the funds and do all the due diligence, then might be 45 days and then you close in 60 days. So it's still a very strong offer. It gives you negotiation power, but it's not that fast. You might, if you don't go into contract right away, let's say in a week, you might have somebody step in and steal the property for you.
Right.
Tier 3 offer is the mortgage offer with contingency. Okay, so this kind of offer is basically toilet paper. Meaning...
this is not great.
It's not great because, it is an offer, but what I'm saying to the seller, I'm saying, listen, if I don't get the mortgage, I just step out. I don't lose the down payment, and there is that. And you actually lost 60 days of your listing on the market.
Yeah.
Then the tier 4 offer, given the fact of the contingency, contingent is the lowball offer. Yeah. I mean, lowball offer usually are like offer that 10% of the time they got into a deal because most of the time they're not serious buyer. They just want to test the market.
They want to buy if they can get something 50% off.
And let's give a definition of a low ball offer. Usually an opening good offer is a 10% a discount offer. If you go 15% and below is a low ball offer. Yeah. And this low ball offer, that
could be all cash too.
Could be all cash too, but most likely they have the same outcome. Yeah. Unless you don't go to distress properties.
Unless
and this is a totally different business. And this is when also the emotion comes. The seller sometimes get offended get mad to the listing broker. That the poor listing broker has to disclose you. Like, I mean, tell the story about that situation. Tell that story.
Yeah, we're not gonna name any names here, but we've had a little while ago, we got an offer, which actually I didn't think was,
it was not that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
It was not even a low ball.
No, it wasn't really a low
15%.
ball. It was, 15% all cash. And in the market that we were in at the time, and given the history of that listing, I think if I was a seller, I would have considered it a little more,
Yeah.
But I think it's the emotional thing again. But it's our job legally, if we get any kind of offer as a seller's agent, we have to present that to you. So whether or not you like that offer is not really up to us, right? But it's definitely, it comes out on us. The anger, what is that saying? Don't kill the messenger? Yeah, don't kill the messenger.
We always at the end disclose to the seller, listen, even if I got an offer of $1, I gotta tell you.
I have to tell you. Yeah, exactly. And we try to say that so they don't get mad at us. But this one, I think, honestly, they should have taken. And this, again, for negotiation, is a good.
And this, if I remember correctly, was a first offer in a first week.
It was the first offer, yep. And this comes back to what you were saying is if it's someone, we had just listed the property. In the first week, someone that had already came back, like seen the building, probably been looking for a half a month or no, half a year.
6 months, actually, yeah.
Half a year or maybe longer. And they're ready to go, right? They came there, they're like, we like the building. Your unit came on the market and we like it. He should have considered
the
that.
first offer, I tell all my sellers, the first offer is the one you have to work it on.
Yeah.
You at least need to give them a counter, even if it's a low ball, because the first offer is that kind of client that is already on the market, as you said, from 6 months, is ready to pull the trigger, and most likely is the one that is going to buy. So
we might have done our job too well there, because maybe he's like, oh, I just got these agents, they can give me more. We got an offer quickly on that one. Maybe he was like, you know what? I'm
these
gonna
guys
see what
are
these
good.
guys can do.
They can do better.
Yeah.
Well, then the market is gonna prove us wrong, maybe, or prove us right. But
that was also, this was a good example of agent negotiation, this offer that we got. It was an investor, right? Overseas investor. But this agent, she's emailing. So we don't get that face-to-face time.
She was scared of us.
Right.
I mean,
look at her. But no, she was actually pretty nice. She was cute. She was cute.
The broker.
Yes, this broker.
Yeah, usually brokers are cute, by the way.
They're cute. They're good looking. But I mean, she was a little timid, though. She was a little timid. I get that too. But I've seen her specific type of broker before too, where it's like emails. She works probably with a lot of investors. They float all these sort of offers, and they're not too emotionally involved. They don't like getting on the phone.
Well, what could happen also if in a building there are a lot of listings in the same range of price, they might do some low ball offer in 3-4 apartments, and the first one, if it's just an investment, there is not the psychological and emotion factor, which happens a lot. Like if you buy a home to live, you might even overprice a property if you love it, because you're going to spend a decades of your life there, so you want to enjoy your
memories
time.
Attached,
but if it's an investor and is just looking at numbers, doesn't really matter if it's tiny better or not.
That's a good example too, because negotiation, it's always,
you gotta understand that also.
Yeah, and
she might ended up buying something else in the same building for 50 grand less.
Whoever gave her the price, right?
And we told the seller that.
We did.
But I didn't care. It's okay.
We'll see.
We'll sell it anyway.
I think that's a good example, though. So in negotiation, at least this is sort of what I go by, but you have to not care, though. The person who cares the less, which in this case is the investor, right? She's not emotionally attached to the product. She's looking straight on a money aspect, are usually the one that wins the negotiation. The person who cares the less. Because I'm like, listen, I don't care.
I already heard that sentence, by the way. Who cares less is the one who wins.
That's the truth. And that goes for many things, by the way, not just real estate.
My take, actually, thank you, Jonathan. Who cared the least is the one who wins.
Well, that is also
I knew
my
that
take.
already, by the way. All right, guys, thank you so much. Subscribe to our channel. Give us a like. Here, Emanuele.
Jonathan O'Malley. That's Sirhan. But yeah, make sure to subscribe, like to this channel. I think we'll be posting it on Emanuele's channel and my channel. We'll put them both in the link here.
Thank you. Ciao.
Thank you. Bye.